Hi, good day. I'm Angeline Cristel Zarco.
And I am Eileen Ignacio, and we are here today to present and discuss to you our study. Our study is entitled Aquaponic System Treatment, Hybrid of Radial Flow Filter System and Constructed Wetlands with African Night Crawler and Azolla Plants. Our thesis advisor is Dr. Eileen D. Nieva. First, let me introduce to you aquaponics. Aquaponics is a collaborative system of two other systems such as hydroponics, which is a method of developing plants in water using nutrient solutions without the use of soil, and aquaculture, a farming of different aquatic organisms. The system is bound together by the water flowing, acting as a nutrient delivery system. It transfers the nutrients coming from the aquaculture to the hydroponic system. However, in a circulating system, problems may occur leading to a plant and fish death, such as nutrient imbalances because of different solubilization rates and accumulation of nutrients in the system, unstable pH levels due to different pH levels needed by the organism in the system, and lastly, unsteady nitrate levels due to inefficient fish-plant ratio as a certain level of nitrate must be produced. Therefore, it is of relevance to determine the best practical means of a water treatment system to be used in aquaponics for all these problems. Since water is one of the main components in an aquaponic system, as it helps upon the growth of the plants and health of the fishes. It consists of parameters such as temperature, pH, chemical oxygen demand, dissolved oxygen, biochemical oxygen demand, phosphorus, nitrogen, suspended solids, and alkalinity. But we are focusing our study on the nitrogenous substances. Objectives. Originally, the study focused on the physical evaluation of the design and construction of the treatment system. However, the pandemic made it impractical to evaluate the parameters within the aquaponic system, and thus a life cycle assessment was conducted in lieu of physical testing. The LCA was used to model nutrient flows within the system with focus on the nitrogenous substances.
Let us now move on to the methodology. The aquaponic system used in the experiment was made up of three systems. The aquaculture system contained 9 Oniloticus specimens, which is also known as Nile tilapia, and was fed with fish feed. The treatment system consists of a hybrid constructed wetland that contains mechanical filtration and biofiltration mechanism. Lastly, the hydroponic system cultivated crop was cucumber, and the media used as grow bed were pumice and gravel stone. In this slide, the design of each tank can be observed. Radial flow filters serve as the mechanical filter of the system, and the water flow in the tank makes the solid particles settle in the bottom. The overflow then will be in constructed wetland, wherein it acts as the second filter. The media used were silica sand and pumice stone, and azolla as its macrophyte. Lastly, some tanks contribute to maintaining the water level in the aquaculture section of the system. Before planting the cucumber hydroponically, it was first cultivated in a rock wool cube, and the seeds were germinated for about 3 to 7 days before transferring it into the grow bed. The seeds germinated were about 8 to 10 pieces. In cleaning of tanks, the first tank was cleaned every week since it accumulates vast number of waste. It was cleaned by draining the water using the outlet stream at the back end of the tank and removing the solid waste that had settled. For the constructed wetland, the media were removed and washed. Lastly, some tank was cleaned the same way as radial flow filter. Let's now move on to the life cycle assessment. In the Golden Scope phase, the whole aquaponics system is modeled as a series of discrete unit processes. The functional unit is defined, and the data is clarified by assumptions and limitations. The system is described by a process flow diagram. The goal was to provide a nutrient-based evaluation of environmental impacts of the system. As for the scope and limitations, the study focused on a gate-to-gate analysis of an aquaponic system operated under a 30-day period. The scope includes the flow of nitrogenous substances, energy requirement, hotspots, and the daily water replacement. The nitrification and phosphorus balances was not assumed and incorporated due to scant literature on the topic relation to aquaponics. In this slide, the process flow diagram used in assessing the LCA of the aquaponics system is shown. The chosen functional unit is 9 juvenile Nile tilapia with an initial mass of 50 grams. The entire volume of the system is 596.48 cubic meter and it's cycled each hour, serving as a basis for the energy balance calculation. Both mass and energy balance calculations are covered under a 30-day operational period. The number and mass of fish dictate the daily feeding rates, which serve as the main nutrition input to the system, and the feeding rate for the tilapia in this size is at an average of 3.5% of its body weight. The system's boundary in PFD represents a gate-to-gate analysis in which only one value-added process is evaluated. In inventory analysis, the initial water parameter is also needed. Table 2 shows the list of water volumes, areas, and the daily evaporation rate for each tank of the system. And the evaporation rate were based on the data collected from 2007 to 2017 at Indang, Cavite. Table 3 shows the important P and SDW parameters for aquaponics system. It is the constituent substances of the source water that were also included in the model. The nitrogen content of grower feed used in the study was the same as the one in Parana, Brazil. As for the energy input, the system mainly comes from the electricity required to operate the 20-watt air compressor and the water pump. Impact analysis. An impact assessment was done to determine the greatest threats to the environment. An OMB of water nutrient content focusing on nitrogenous substances throughout the system and an energy balance to justify the potential impacts brought about by the system. Excess values of nitrogenous substances, for instance, could bring a significant eutrophication threat both inside the system and outside. On the other hand, a deficiency of such substances will lead to reduced nutritional values of the plants. Improvement analysis. Alternatives for the mitigation of significant environmental impacts in the system were assessed in the improvement analysis.
Now let's proceed to the results and discussion of our study. Our results and discussion evolve around a life cycle assessment done in our aquaponics system for 30 days. Process flow diagram. In here, you can see table 1, which consists of the estimated nutrient balances found on our 9 Nile tilapias and the corresponding nitrogen mass in it. And in here, you can see the detailed process flow diagram for the aquaponics system after 30 days of operation. Figure 1 shows the flows of nitrogenous substances in the aquaculture section. Same here in Figure 2, but in the treatment section. Figures 3 and 4 illustrate the two sub-processes occurring in the constructed wetland. The nitrification process in Figure 3 is done by the Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter bacteria present in the treatment system, while Figure 4 represents the nitrogen fixation done by the Azolla plant in the constructed wetland. Figure 5 is similar to Figures 1 and 2 but situated in the hydroponics section. In Table 2, the average daily absorption of certain substances by cucumbers in the circulating soilless system is shown. An optimal combination among the nitrogen-based nutrients present is a ratio of 8:2 for nitrate and ammonia, and hence, it is assumed that a single cucumber will absorb 0.1475 grams per plant per day of ammonia and 0.5901 gram per plant per day of the nitrate. Considering the fish feed is the primary nutrient input to the system, 150-gram juvenile tilapia was used to determine the ideal fish-plant ratio. The nutrient mass balances were established by quantifying the nutrient input-output accumulation in the system following this equation. For the energy consumption of the system, two pumps were used, one to lift the water from the aquaculture section to the first filter and the other is to deliver oxygen. Energy balance for the water pump was conducted via a mechanical energy balance shown. The concentration of nitrogenous substances at day 30 are then computed in Table 3. Here is the inventory analysis. As shown in Table 3, nitrate concentrations by the end of the month are high enough in the treatment system on account of their containers' low volumes. Such values can lead to eutrophication in the treatment system and may hinder nutrient flow in the nitrification process. Any environmental impact brought about by the aquaponics system can be determined through the material balance and energy balances. The process with the greatest environmental impacts were then singled out as hotspots for further evaluation and improvement. Thus, in Table 4 are the environmental hotspots of the aquaponics system, the location of it in the system, pollutant of the said hotspot, and its impact. With the listed hotspots in Table 4, it can be concluded that the main threats throughout the aquaponics system were eutrophication and nutrient deficiency.
The following equations were used to determine the eutrophication potential, specifically in radial flow filter and sump tank. According to Table 3 and Figure 6 that's to be shown in the following slide, rising nitrate concentration significantly contributed to the eutrophication potential of such parts, accounting for 92.97% and 99.94% of the nitrogen-based EP in the radial filters and sump tank respectively. In this slide, the concentration profile of the relevant nutrients in selected sections were shown. This graph depicts the concentration of nitrogenous nutrients in aquaculture. This graph depicts the concentration of nitrogenous nutrients in radial flow filter. Lastly, this graph depicts the concentration of nitrogenous nutrients in sump tank. From the figure shown, eutrophication was further proven as a hotspot. The relatively low concentration logged in the aquaculture compared to the three containers of the treatment system can be traced to the significant differences in volume between the former and the latter. However, since periodic cleaning of the system generally took place at the treatment system, high concentrations in the wastewater can present a significant eutrophication threat. The ammonium deficiency can be proven through the process flow diagram of the hydroponics section in Figure 5. In Figure 5, it can be observed that the amount of ammonium produced by the system will not be able to meet the required amount, which is 0.5901 grams. Following the identification of hotspots and their potential effects, alternative measures with both advantages and disadvantages were proposed. Table 7 included a rundown of the alternative measures. The continuation of Table 7 is presented in this slide. And for the conclusion. After analyzing the material and energy balances of the nutrient content, it was determined from the identified hotspots that eutrophication and ammonium deficiency were the greatest threats due to extremely high concentration of nitrates in the treatment system, and the insufficient amounts of ammonium released by azolla as a result of nitrogen fixation. Such nitrate concentrations were brought about by the lower volumes of the containers in the treatment system. Alternative measures were then presented to further improve the system.
Recommendation. It is recommended that testing of different parameters be done to see if the new treatment system installed in the aquaponics system is applicable. Applicable in the sense that these important parameters evident in the system will be maintained in its prime range of relevance in the aquaponics system and can really improve the whole aquaponics system from its previous setup.